The snow is melting, but it's going to take a long time for some southern Kentucky businesses to recover from the winter storm. A look at the damage all the snow caused.
Transportation leaders were talking with us about what happened in Rockcastle County on I-75 Friday. Could anything have been done to prevent the thousands left stranded?
Police say the problem of synthetic drugs in Kentucky is getting out of control.
This is WKYT News at 6.
And good evening. The thaw is well underway, days after a massive winter storm brought more than a foot of snow to much of this state. But some people have a lot of damage to clean up.
Yeah, at Lake Cumberland, heavy snow and ice caused docks and roofs to collapse, damaging boats at several marinas. Officer Don shot this video from Sky First over the Alligator No. 2 Marina in Russell County. Hillary Thornton spent the day at the damaged marina in neighboring Pulaski County. She begins our top story team coverage.
I mean, it's awful.
J.D. Hamilton has seen a lot during his time managing Lee's Ford Marina.
First year I had 2 tornadoes. Then we got the business straightened out. We were doing great. And then, of course, the emergency lowering came.
Followed by a fire and an issue with debris.
I think disaster is our specialty as much as anything.
And now this. While it looks picturesque and fun for the birds, it has been a nightmare for boat owners.
It looks like a bomb went off.
I can't say catastrophic because it's just boats, but, you know, boats are important to us too.
The weight of more than a foot of snow piled on top of ice, causing multiple docks to collapse. Adding to the mounting damage, as we were here shooting video, another dock, the one just behind us here, collapsed, adding to the millions of dollars worth of damage.
The worst loss in this marina's history. I mean, just have never seen anything like it.
A marina with 350 covered slips, around 250 of those now sit damaged, with the debris being held up by the dozens of boats underneath.
It's just a really freaky thing that this happened, and you know, that's so really, I guess I'm so busy, I really haven't even thought about, you know, the emotional side of it.
In Pulaski County,
It'll all be another challenge that we've overcome. Hillary
Thornton, WKYT.
Hamilton says he estimates the damage to his marina will total at least $4 million.
That heavy snow also damaged some businesses in Wayne County this weekend. Roofs over an antique business and Reed's Automotive collapsed. Here's a look at some of the damage from Sky First. And as Phil Pendleton tells us, the owners of both businesses call it a devastating setback. He continues our team coverage.
For decades, Michael Reed Neal put his life, and you might even say his heart and soul, into his automotive business. His community responded.
When you lose it all, it's hard.
Hard because he's been down this road before.
In '93, it was destroyed by fire, and we came back.
Friday, it wasn't fire. You could argue rather it was the opposite element that did all of this.
Devastation. Yeah, your heart goes straight down.
5 cars and all the equipment instantly gone under the weight of a lot of snow.
No, I didn't think it would ever happen, you know. I've been through several things, but not this.
Snow also caused damage to several chicken processing and research facilities.
Me and my dad, we started it together.
And McCutcheon Antiques on Kentucky 90.
I'm 53-year-old, never had no claims, so I don't know where you go from here.
And the owner tells me that he believes there were about 18 inches of snow on the ground. You can look down at the ground and see just how much snow there is around my feet. There is a tremendous amount of snow here in Wayne County. A lot of snow that was simply too much for some roofs to handle.
I come over the mountain Saturday morning and look, this is what I saw. It was just a total mess.
McCutcheon's Antiques had insurance. Reed's Automotive did not. Neal says he forego his business insurance to cover his wife's health needs recently. In Wayne County.
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
State leaders now say that 5 deaths in Kentucky are being blamed on the snow and ice. A man died in Whitley County when his car hit a snowplow. A snowplow driver died in Christian County, but state leaders say that's being investigated as a medical emergency. They say that 2 people died in a fire in Pulaski County, and a man died when his car went down an embankment in Casey County.
The storm caused a traffic nightmare on Interstate 75 in Rockcastle County. State police say 3,000 people were stranded there Friday night. A series of crashes shut down the interstate. Many drivers were stuck there until Saturday morning. So why weren't people diverted off the interstate sooner? And can this be prevented from happening again? Today, Kristen Kennedy went to state leaders for some answers.
No one could have predicted the traffic nightmare drivers sat through Friday on I-75 in Rockcastle County.
Once we started to get really heavy accumulations on I-75, we started to get some traffic backups and then some accidents with some semi-trucks.
Director of Maintenance John Wilcoxon said several tractor trailers jackknifed on the interstate and blocked traffic.
And at that point, it made it nearly impossible for our forces to get to the roads to remove the snow.
State police estimated 3,000 people stuck on the road.
There just wasn't any way to get to the accident with all the traffic that was there on the interstate.
The State Transportation Cabinet told us the director of the Emergency Operations Center made the decision to divert traffic at 9 p.m. Friday. Why he waited until 9 p.m., we don't know. A spokesman for the EOC said the director was too busy to talk with us.
During the event itself, the best we can do is hope to keep the interstates passable, but once it's over, that's when we start to really make some progress, and I'm really pleased with how quickly we got everything back open.
Wilcoxon said his crew got 75 clear less than 12 hours after the last flake fell. Leaders with the Emergency Operations Center are meeting Thursday to talk about what happened and what could, if anything, prevent a similar ordeal. In Frankfort, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
State leaders say the decision to divert traffic is up to the Emergency Operations Center. The governor gives the EOC special authority during states of emergency.
Now the temperatures are finally above freezing. The snow is finally starting to melt, but we'll soon be tracking some rain. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at the forecast.
Yeah, a little bit of light rain and a couple more snowflakes on the way as we go into the next roughly 24 hours, as temperatures today spiking on a strong southerly wind into the 40s. So losing a little bit of that snowpack, it's going to take its good old sweet time. Folks, you can't have 1 to 2 feet of snow on the ground and expect it just to disappear with one day in the 40s. It will be a process. Nothing across central Kentucky as of now. We look at your Defender radar network. Notice a couple of returns trying to show up in the northern and western parts of the area. And maybe a little flurry action. Let me throw the clouds into the mix as well. And notice those clouds thickening up across central and western Kentucky. That's where we have a cold front that is right now between Kansas City and the St. Louis area. Colder air behind that. Typical brand of January cold, windy and milder air just ahead of that. That front blasts through here late tonight. We're still on the positive side of that front with a chance for a late evening shower. Most areas will stay at 40 degrees or a little better right on through daybreak tomorrow. Then we get that cold front to make its way through here. Temperatures take a tumble. So tomorrow morning's light rain may end as a period of some light snow or flurries. Second half of tomorrow. Overall, the next 7 days is a much calmer pattern. Just ahead, though, I'll show you why I think this is only a break in the winter pattern. We're calling it your halftime to winter, guys. We'll explain why in just a few minutes.
New tonight, the case against a man accused of killing another man in Lexington is moving forward. A judge sent Donald Rourke Jr.'s case on to the grand jury today. He is charged with murder. On January 3rd, Lexington police say Rourke shot 28-year-old Corinne White outside the University Trails apartments on Red Mile Road. White's family members say he knew Rourke. And new tonight, a small fire forced a Lexington fast food restaurant to close. Firefighters say a motor in the restroom of the KFC on Versailles Road caught fire this afternoon, and that created a lot of smoke in the restrooms. Everyone in the restaurant was evacuated and no one was hurt. Firefighters say there is not much damage to the restaurant, but because of the smoke, they have to air out the building before the restaurant can reopen.
Synthetic drugs have been popping up all over the state, and police say they usually show up in waves. Synthetic drugs became a huge problem in one southern Kentucky town last summer, and police are still feeling the ripple effects months later. WKYT investigative reporter Miranda Combs takes us to Williamsburg.
Check on 183.
Do what?
There are 262 inmates in this jail today, more than 100 over capacity. This man watches over all of them.
And keeping an eye on our staff members is the first concern to me, and then the inmates.
This feels very controlled. Beeps and lights warn him of potential problems.
They call a number and I can just push it.
But there's a new problem that's out of his control. Really, anyone that comes near it.
Oh, terrifying. They mumble ungodly things. It's almost like an animal-like effect. They have no control of their body movements.
Whoa.
It's probably the worst thing that I've seen.
Whitley County Jailer Brian Lawson says just in the past 6 months, they've seen at least 25 cases of inmates on synthetic drugs. The drug has a weird shelf life, he says. It could be a week before symptoms start.
It puts every deputy jailer in harm's way. It puts every inmate in that cell in harm's way.
The most violent people that I have ever encountered in law enforcement. I mean, these people were extremely violent, hallucinating. I mean, I can't tell you enough how violent they are.
He has story.
We had one individual that we had handcuffs on, was literally pulling skin and all off, trying to get the handcuffs off.
After story.
And she started counting down, and she told the EMS personnel that the ambulance was going to blow up, and she jumps up off the cot and dives out of the ambulance, and the officers had to chase her down and physically subdue her.
Last summer, Police Chief Wayne Berg says Williamsburg was hit with bath salts, a synthetic drug he believes dealers use to cut methamphetamine.
We were drowning with bath salts.
They had 13 cases in just 2 weeks. No arrests. He says the users were so sick from it, some ended up on life support.
But I don't think it's quite the pleasurable experience a lot of people think they're going to have.
Van Ingram with the State Office of Drug Control Policy says batches of synthetic drugs typically show up in a town like Williamsburg for a short amount of time. Then they disappear for a while.
So people maybe take it one time and experience something that they think is pleasurable. The next time they're ripping their clothes off and running down the street because they think aliens are chasing them.
Ingram says there's no quality control when it comes to synthetic drugs. He's pushing for harsher penalties for dealers this legislative session.
So I think we'll have a number of bills to address it, and like everything, it'll take some time through the session to sort out, but I think we will address synthetics in a more meaningful way going forward.
And Ingram says right now, for a first offense of selling a synthetic drug in Kentucky, it's just a misdemeanor. He says if you are dealing the drug over a certain amount, it needs to be a felony. Even the effects of this drug worrying emergency room workers. Chief Byrd was saying basically when he brings people in like that, the emergency room workers are terrified because they don't know what they're going to do. As you can see, they're out of control a lot of times. It's a frightening experience.
Just seeing those restraints on the chairs makes you realize this is a bad situation.
Scary.
All right, thanks, Miranda.
The winter storm has ended, but you'll still find a lot of snow on the ground here in Lexington.
Yes, you will. The people who have to be out working in it are trying to take it in stride. The city canceled garbage collection Friday because of the storm. Sanitation workers were back at it again today, fighting through the slush to pick up the garbage. One worker said he's glad it wasn't as cold as it had been, but the slush, he says, is a headache.
It's a challenge just tugging the herbs through the snow. It's a little rough trying to drag them through the snow. You got to have a little muscles a little bit.
And the makeup day for Friday's missed garbage collection will be this Wednesday.
Now.